Well, hello, and welcome to a special race day edition of Byrd Brains. We really are at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the Jonathan Byrd Racing Hospitality Tent. My name is Rob Reel. I host the morning show on Corn Country 100.3, among other things. To my left is David Byrd. To my right is Jonathan Byrd II, and extra super special guest, Mama Jenny Byrd, is across from me at the table.
I'm afraid. I'm very afraid.
I'm sad because we have to be good now.
Hey, she's your mom, not mine.
I will pinch you if you are bad, boys.
Although I have to start with this. She does feel very momish to me. I don't have that kind of relationship.
I'm old enough to be your mom. That's why.
You certainly don't look it, Shug.
Oh, bless you.
And I don't have that. I was raised more by my grandparents, so I had more of that relationship with my grandmother than my mom. But you feel very. It's a very maternal connection when I'm around you, and it warms my heart when I'm around you.
I'm glad.
I have to say, though, fellas, she never stops being mom, does she? Because here we are at the hospitality tent, and our race day was already over, and yet the party's still going on, and we're watching on the screen, and there's food and family and fun, and she's cleaning up after people.
It's what I do. I'm sorry.
It's embarrassing when people come into the hospitality, she says, "Wipe your feet off before you come in here."
Is there a welcome?
Going to the barn.
I may be their mother, but I'm not yours, okay? I'm not cleaning up after you, but no, I will. I can't help myself.
That's the thing. She actually will is the thing. So, all right, I will preface this by saying only one team was going to go home happy today. We knew that. That's the way racing works. Only one team is going to be completely satisfied with the outcome. Today was Juan Pablo Montoya's day. He finishes first again, 15 years between wins. Only his third Indianapolis 500. There was one year he finished fifth. Apparently, I don't know what he was doing slacking that day.
Yeah.
He wins in 2000. He wins in 2015. I'd have to get the Donald Davidson take. I know it's not the longest between first and last win, if for some reason Juan Pablo never wins here again, but it's probably the longest between first and second win at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
I'd say so. I know that we had a driver, John Paul Jr., that went 15 years between IndyCar wins. But that was just IndyCar wins,
right?
Not for us, but not at Indy, obviously. But
right.
It would have to be up there in terms of the gap between first and second wins for sure.
So it was an exciting finish. Not as many green flag laps, I think, as we had last year. I think last year was 140 out of 200.
I predicted that. The first I knew there was going to be crashes. I think today was going to be a crash fest, and we had that long. I would have liked there to be on the yellow somewhere before lap 61, and that not have been us.
Yeah.
We could have used some chance to get back to the rear of the field and get a chance to make the car better. But, today was not going to be a clean race like last year's race, and I think we saw that happen today.
For those playing our home game, as I like to say, our guy Brian Clausen in the number 88 Jonathan Byrd's Racing machine, the Jonathan Byrd's Racing Special, as Donald would have called it. Lap 63 officially, or was it 61?
61.
It was 61? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Hit the wall in turn 4. Stefano Coletti was coming in low, I think, and here's what I saw, and correct me from that. I think I saw Coletti coming in on the low side, and Brian was trying to give him a little bit of room, and got out of the groove, and the next thing I know, Brian's kind of skidding down the safer barrier.
Yeah.
And speaking of safer, Brian is healthy. He's unhurt. He's already on his way to Kokomo to race tonight as we're having this conversation. So all is well with that.
Yes.
We're just disappointed in the 31st place finish.
That is disappointing, but we're proud of Brian and his effort. He battled strong throughout the race. He was we were kind of doing some strategy things there. Kind of topping off after that debacle of the beginning, kept topping off, and we pitted 5 laps after the leaders. And at one point, I saw the 88 on up to 7th on the pagoda, so that was kind of exciting.
We like that.
I was kind of hoping we'd maybe lead a lap, but there was a few cars that were on the same strategy as us, so they had a little bit more fuel. But it was cool to get be in the top 10 for a little bit. We were running a really strong laps with Tristan right behind Tristan Vautier. We were pulling away from Pippa Mann, and then as the fuel burned off and as the tires gave way, and we were at 40 laps into a stint on the tires because we fueled up, on lap 9 or something like that. Car got a little bit loose, and he was working on correcting that and trying to stay ahead of the car's condition throughout the second stint, and we just saw that big train of cars coming, and he just did his best to stay out of their way and was just too nice.
If I won't forget to go back to Brian, but you mentioned Tristan Vaudier, and I would forget to go back if I don't do it now. A strange situation with Tristan, who qualified one car for Dale Coyne Racing with the knowledge that James Davison, who was otherwise occupied qualification weekend, was going to come run the Indianapolis 500. Then with various other developments on the day, Tristan Vaudier ends up in the other car for Dale Coyne Racing. First of all,
then there seemed like I might have missed it, but did they run into each other on pit lane during the race?
There was an incident where actually it was all 3 Coyne cars. It was Vautier coming out. Yeah. He and Pippa got together. Oh, God. I'm sorry, Davison was coming out. Yeah. And he and Pippa got together, and that's when it collected 2 of Vautier's crewmen and damaged, I think, all 3 of the cars, all in one fell swoop.
It's like '89 when the clutches went bad in all 3 Penske machines within like a handful of laps of one another.
Yeah, poor Roger.
So it's always terrible for Roger. Okay, so explain to me, if you could, being owners and being on the inside, was there some sort of paperwork change that had already taken place with Vautier coming out of the one car and Davison going in, that they couldn't just say, well, let's just leave Tristan in this car and leave it in the position it qualified and put Davison in the other one, even though it's the faster car?
Well, the Huertas situation didn't come up till, I believe, Friday.
Okay.
When the Huertas, some kind of medical condition. Thursday night, when the medical condition was kind of revealed that he wasn't going to be cleared to drive. So, yeah, it was already done. I suppose they probably could have done that. Just say, okay, Tristan, stay here. Somebody was going to the back of the pack.
Right. Well, but why send 2 to the back of the pack if you could have gotten away with? I mean, he would have been middle of row 7.
Honestly,
it's above our pay grade, Rob. 30, you have to ask somebody else
33
about that.
It's 500 miles. It's a long race.
I mean, you saw what Montoya did. He had that problem with the right rear bumper pod after that. Aborted the first restart, and they come in, totally replaced. He drops back to 30th, and
he was behind us at one point.
And look at him, look at him now. He's got a wreath around him, and he drank some milk. Good for him. Yippee-ki-yay.
So, Dave, you said
don't be bitter, honey. Don't be bitter. Don't be bitter.
Bitter party of one. Bitter party of one. But David said the thing that takes me back to where I was going to go with Brian. It's 500 miles. It's a long race. So Joanna Ryan, who is my co-host and who sat in my place for the last couple editions of this program, is not a gearhead at all. She will be the first to tell you that she has very little familiarity with racing, racing things, and she likes to watch stuff go fast, but she doesn't have a whole lot of institutional memory, as I call it. And so she, among the other folks at Rising Radio Partners, were asking, okay, well, what do you think of Brian's chances? And my response was, Brian is a good, steady driver, so that if nothing breaks on the car and he can stay away from trouble, somewhere around 12th to 15th is not particularly unreasonable, even though that wasn't a particularly fast car.
It looks to me that the way the race played out, had we been able just to stay on track the whole time, and when he crashed, we were just a few laps away from a pit stop. He was actually just trying to clear that pack of cars. If we'd gotten through there, if he'd let those guys get by him, he would have been pitting 3 laps later. We would have been fine. I'm probably 24th,
21st.
I mean, the way it ended up playing out. I mean, obviously there were some crashes out there. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how many cars were on the track at the end.
Yeah, I kind of was looking at the end of the race, so I think around 21st, 22nd. I mean, that would have been just perfect for us, and we'd have been happy with that. And been one less crash car for KV to repair.
And you said something earlier that only one team was going to go away happy, and ultimately, yes, that's true. I think that had we been on the pit box the whole race, had Brian pulled on the track or pulled into the pits after the checkered flag, Montoya's down there celebrating, and Brian rolls into the pits 2, 3, 4, even 4 laps down, I think we would have been a happy team as well.
Yep,
so
absolutely.
maybe the better way to say it is only one team goes home satisfied. Is that a better characterization of, because only one car can win?
Yeah, I don't know. It's I don't want to sound like we're not out here to win, because obviously we are.
Of course.
Brian put in more laps this month than any other driver, I think. I know during practice he did. I'm not sure how it played out during qualifying.
We lost 130 today.
Yeah, well, up until the race, I think Brian had put in more laps than anybody else.
I'll take this one. He ran more than Buddy Lazier.
What was that?
He ran more than Buddy Lazier.
So, so I don't want to be one of those people that say,
I love you, Rob.
I love you more.
So I don't want to make it sound like we weren't here to win.
Of course.
But, we're here to build a long-term program, and that has to start somewhere. And, the team that won today is the team that's won 16 times here. So, it's tough to beat Penske. And the show today was the Penske Ganassi show, and almost the Penske Ganassi Andretti show, or the PGA, as our mom likes to call it.
So when handicapping a race of this magnitude, the Indianapolis 500, it is the greatest spectacle in racing. Is the key ingredient in winning the thing having already won the thing? And I know that's a terrible Mobius strip. That's a Gordian knot to try to unravel. But Penske 16
so many
times.
Words that are so
words are hard.
Complicated.
Words are hard, John.
A little sleep.
I think there is something to be said for A.J. Foyt, Al Unser Sr., Rick Mears 4 times each, Dario, Elio, Maury Rose 3 times each, Johnny Rutherford, Bobby Unser 3 times each.
Yeah.
Experience counts for so much.
So much
here.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at if it was had we been in a situation, we've got new people working together for the first time. KVSH, good team, has won the 500 before. We know they've got good people.
Mm-hmm.
We know Brian's a good shoe. He's got a solid crew around him. But had we run into a situation like Montoya had, where we had to replace the rear wing assembly and the bumpers early on, and had to make that call, maybe wouldn't have done it with probably the calmness with which Team Penske went about doing it. And, because more people, more experience, more preparation, more people that can focus on the little details and be ready to go, and more people to analyze all the different situations that could go wrong, and what if this happens, and then this is how we'll play it out, and then we'll take this strategy. And there's so many things at play that, having been here for Penske now for 46 years, 1969 was Team Penske's first year.
Math
here.
Is hard.
That you just
let's go shopping.
You can't buy that experience.
Right.
You just can't buy that experience.
I had a coach many years ago tell me, boy, the only way to learn how to hit a curveball is to hit a curveball.
I'm having flashbacks to podcast 1 right now.
So,
what did you say? You're having flashbacks to
Get down, Charlie's in the trees. So let's bring this to some of the fun stuff of the day, because there are a lot of great memories to be had from this day. Can we start with what, for each of you, how did it feel arriving at the track on race day after time away, and yet maybe it didn't seem like
my gosh, my ride here with the escort this morning was quite memorable, and I don't want to do that again. I've already told the boys I'm not doing it.
Wait, you hired an escort? Oh, you mean the police escort?
Okay.
Hey now.
Okay. But anyway, the best part for me was standing out on the grid with John and David and thinking about the first time I stood down there with their dad. I thought about that this morning.
So as that happens, the 3 of you together, the Byrd family, what thoughts are starting to go through your head?
Well, I was so proud of the boys doing this. I was so proud of David putting this whole effort together. It was a big job. And he started working on it about 1.5 years ago. And like I said the other day, I always wanted to come back to Indy. We weren't in a good place to do that several years ago. But in my heart, I always wanted to come back, but I didn't dare tell them, or they had hounded me to death. When are we going back, Mom? When are we going back? Can we go back now, Mom? Can we? No.
Some things never change. Like they're in the back of the Vista Cruiser.
If I have to stop this car and turn around and go. But anyway, David did all of this. He worked very hard to put this together, and he was so emotional down there today. And I saw it in his face, and I saw the look of his dad in his face today. Just the determination and just. But and
he's
John
trying to not pay the least bit of attention, and it's not working.
Yeah, and he and John worked on a lot of different things together, but David led the charge on doing this. And stay tuned. We're not going away.
Excellent.
We're not going away. This is for the long haul. This isn't just a one-time deal. We're going to stay in this, and. Dang it, I want a ring.
Atta girl.
I want bling.
That's what got you.
I want bling.
That's what got you into this in the first place, right?
Hashtag.
Mama wants bling.
Hashtag Mama wants bling. That needs to happen. Okay, Jonathan Byrd II. Your name is Fried Chicken. Born with
Better
a chicken.
Than mud.
Born with a chicken leg in your mouth.
Yes, sir.
What goes through your mind as you're all together on the starting grid? And as the various ceremonies are happening, the Speedway actually does a little tip of the cap, a little tribute to your dad, your namesake. What is that like? Yeah.
Did they?
Yes.
What'd they do?
It wasn't it wasn't a grand video presentation, but there was a. Who
do I got to pay?
No, never mind.
But there was a nice little tip of the cap on the return of Jonathan Byrd's racing, and yes, and it is the single biggest thing I have heard about all day. Everybody who has come back is, hey, did you hear the thing? Did you hear the thing? Did you hear the thing?
Oh, well.
I actually did hear Bob Jenkins when we crashed say KVSH Racing, Jonathan Byrd's racing. I'm thinking, oh my God, he said it right. What did I say?
He said it right, but you said it wrong there.
I said it wrong, but anyway, he said it. I'm listening. I'm going, oh my gosh.
Well, we figure we get a little extra TV time with the crashed car on the sitting by the wall.
Just like we drew it up.
That's right.
My logo sure looked good on TV.
If you can't win it, wallet.
That means two things, I
think. Oh, God.
So, John,
oh my God.
You're down there on the grid, you and Mom and Baby Byrd there with you.
It was just, somebody asked me what my thoughts were, what was I feeling, and what it was all about. And I got a little choked up, and I just said, all I could say was surreal. It was just surreal to be here after 10 years on the grid. But we had some really fun things happen today. Our good friends now, the Cornelia Marie captains, Casey McManus and Captain Josh Harris. And,
who will be joining us for the next Bird Brains podcast, by the way.
We'll talk about them a little later, but having them come out and the debut of Mama in the mascot form.
That was pretty outstanding.
Jenny was the debut of Jenny was
Star
a hit.
Of the show.
I believe I saw her on the ABC broadcast.
Yes, you
a couple
did.
Times.
Yes, you did.
So she made friends with the Firestone Firehawk.
Hey, she's riding with Juan Pablo in the pace car. Oh no, never mind.
What is she doing?
Somebody else had big hair. I'm sorry.
Mama Byrd, what was it like to be the second most popular celebrity in the garage? Because they liked you, but they loved Jenny.
I tell you what, she was over the top. I tried to play it kind of cool, but she is my alter ego.
She was
out there working it.
Yes, she was.
Anyway, a lot of people don't know, but they put my face, my Jenny character, on the stop stick for the car. It's called a lollipop. And I've told everybody, these boys have wanted my head on a stick for years, and they finally got it. Jenny on a stick. That's what they wanted to.
Just Shishka Jenny.
I feel as though we need to write Jeff Dunham a check at the moment. But
or is it Shiksa Jenny? One of the two.
No. She's no Shiksa. That's not nice. Is
that bad?
That's not nice to say about your mom. That's not nice.
It's been a long day.
So it has been a long day. So
we're only halfway done.
Yeah.
We've got one more race.
There's another race tonight in Kokomo. So, David Byrd, you are the wordsmith of the family, for better or for worse. You're the one who puts the marketing plans together and puts the words together. Mm-hmm. So
you write the songs that
make the whole world sing,
yes.
Which ironically Barry Manilow didn't write. Just saying.
Irony.
So hashtag Irony Cafe. So
me like racing.
Attaboy. Attaboy. That would be that'll be the headline on USA Today tomorrow, and millions of puppies and parakeets will read it. So what, other than the wind, what does go through your head, David Byrd?
The wind. That's it.
God.
Well, down on the track, the first thing I did when I got down to the grid, went around to every single guy on the team that helped put this together, just thank them for all their hard work, for helping make it, possible. Everybody that's every sponsor that came out, just for thanking them for being part of it, because that's just we're just getting started, like Mom said. So we want to make sure everybody knows they're appreciated, especially crew guys, because we had a lot of good guys, and unfortunately,
we
the
had
crew
an
guys,
awesome crew.
They work so hard, and the reason they work so hard is because they want to go over the wall and do pit stops. I mean, that is like every single guy working here would work here for free, just because they want to go over the wall and they want to be a part of this. So that's the first step. Go around, thank everybody. And then, Brian came out to the grid. I always, every time I did, I had to fight back, choking up every single guy I thanked, shook their hand, give the bro hug to every one of them. And told Brian, hey, man, this is just another A main. Go out there, do what you do, and just, get what you can. And this is just, first of many.
And get through this race so we can go to Kokomo.
And apparently what what you do is ride the cushion, and he just jumped the cushion.
Yeah.
So that's what happened.
You gotta tell him on this. This is asphalt. There's there's no cushion up there, Brian, for you to go to. So,
Yeah, you can't slide in 4.
No sliding down.
Pretty sure he's not the first guy to get high at the speedway and get.
And also not go too far up in turn 4.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think there were plenty of people getting high at the speedway today, David. Hashtag snake pit.
Tell you what, yesterday at the concert, wow.
Yeah.
That was pungent out there at the concert, let me tell you.
They were getting more than their Sundays on, that is for sure. So, wow, that escalated quickly. That really got out of hand. It's not a day if I don't quote Anchorman. I still have to get Caddyshack in here.
And a cartoon.
I'm
just throw one in.
I know we say it at the end of the show, but I'm so very, very sorry. All right, so let's talk favorite moment of this month of May experience. As John Jubilee sneaks up behind me. You're the reason it's 88. The car is 88 because of the 88 days, as far as you know.
But no one will crash on the 88-day program.
That's right.
Hashtag shameless plug.
There you go. All right, focus.
Well, I have to give John his due because I'm almost literally half the man I used to be before him.
This is true.
And you all introduced me to him, so thank you for that.
Hey, you know what? I honestly didn't recognize you this morning in the car. I was like, oh my word. And then I turned around and go, it's Radio Room.
I've got the face for radio, John. So that's John saying he didn't recognize me in the car this morning, and then that's probably best for all. So favorite moment of this month of May, Jonathan Byrd II? There can be only one.
Going to bed tonight.
All right, then. Wow. He's been married how long? No, that's not happening.
It's just been, everybody coming up to us, thanking us for what we've done for Brian, loving the fact that we're coming back, that we've come back and honored Dad and doing all those things. Just hearing the stories, that's really been, part of my favorite part of this month, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not knocking Penske or Ganassi or Andretti or, big business racing, but there's something about a family team being here doing this thing. It's part of what got me excited about racing as a kid. David Byrd, your favorite thing about this month of May?
Wow. Wordsmith again.
Be like racing.
Words about the film. It's always a start of the race. So this start of the race had a little bit extra rush because it was like, hands into hair and pulling up the forehead. Like, wow, was that us that crashed? No, it wasn't.
Be honest. You were just thrilled that McDreamy was waving the green flag.
Is that who waved the green flag?
Yeah, that's what they tell me.
Yeah.
Patrick did. I will always remember him as Ronald Miller from Can't Buy Me Love.
I had no idea. No idea.
You could spot the ages of the people at the table because some guys are like, "Yep, I remember that movie," and the others are like, "Nope, I got nothing."
We'll talk to them, in our next podcast, but introduce them to our audience. And having the Deadliest Catch guys here, Josh and Casey, was really a lot of fun. Being able to, link up with especially with Josh and his story, his father, him and Jake, working for their dad. His dad had a stroke. He passed away, from complications of the stroke, and they, carried on the family business, carried on the father's legacy. We were able to make that connection because that's our story as well. So having them here to experience it, share it with us was kind of fun. Make some new friends out of that. So many, like John said, so many people. Just to echo that, telling us how much they appreciate us being here. I got to sign one autograph, so that was good. Close to a highlight for the month.
On the pillowcase?
Yeah, 2 autographs. Okay. 2 autographs.
Wow.
That's another story for the next podcast. Make sure you tune in.
John
a very special episode.
John didn't talk about how he was able to, make a few extra bucks yesterday, helping transport drunk chicks around the speedway, being a good Samaritan.
I was a good Samaritan.
I didn't hear about this.
No,
backstage at the Florida Georgia Line concert yesterday.
Yeah, I'll say, dude, not in front of mom on that one.
I learned so much from these programs.
I said transport, right?
I
said transport.
He didn't say
right?
transport.
Okay,
it was all PG.
It was like, hey, make sure you refer John the Byrd Racing.
When you get the munchies later, fried chicken.
Dude, we should have just set up like a fried chicken stand right outside the entry to the concert.
Made a fortune.
Fried chicken and crab legs.
We're gonna pay for next year's Indy 500 program just on one day.
Yeah, you could.
Hashtag got the munchies.
So I turned to Mama Byrd. Last, certainly not least.
Oh my gosh.
Your favorite moment of this month of May.
I tell you what, last Sunday I was thinking, I am too dang old to have to qualify a car twice for last place. I'm too dang old for this kind of drama. No, I tell you what, every day there was something new. This place is something special. Jonathan loved racing. He loved the 500. He loved being a part of this. He tried and tried to win so badly. And Rob being here with you.
Oh.
Having Corn Country on the car.
Stop it. Go on.
Yes. Thank you. And with that, I'm just going to say, I'm Ginny Byrd, and I pick corn.
Be still my heart. You like younger men. David.
Still's going to get his groove on, apparently.
Thinking about it, and also being able to come here with a driver like Brian. Essentially, he was a rookie.
Yeah.
He was here 3 years ago, but the cars are so different now than they were, and every day around this place, it's almost a mystery.
Yeah.
Sometimes it was windy every day, and it was different directions for the wind, and the temperature was up and the temperature was down, and there was such a small box in which to fit to find the sweet spot for the car, and it was such a struggle to get there. And we hit it a couple times, and Brian was right there, and then we went a little bit sideways, but a driver with his pedigree, with his just absolute dedication to the sport and his talent level, his fan base, being able to return to Indy with a driver that comes back to our grassroots like we've talked about in the past, like a driver like Rich Vogler, who is like he crashed out of the 500 today, but he's he can go race tonight in Kokomo, and he'll be racing 2 and 3 times a week, every week until the end of November now.
Yeah.
And, so we'll get a chance to see him race and win a lot. And that's a very satisfying component to it. And that's so many people out there who are short track fans who go out to the racetrack every Friday and every Saturday and pay their $15 and $20 to support drivers like Brian, who go out to see him race, knowing that they were in our corner, and that the entire short track world was pulling for us. Very, very satisfying.
As someone, and this is what I posted on the station Facebook page when I get to say we, qualified last Sunday for the 99th running of the Indianapolis 500. As someone who grew up immersed in racing and someone who has lived within 20 miles of the Speedway for at least half of my life, there are few things I can think of more thrilling than being a part of the Indianapolis 500, that I'm just this idiot on the radio who now is sitting in a hospitality tent and has been in the garage and has broadcasted from here and had full media access and exciting police escorts, and it has
fun.
It has been
a fun morning.
Yeah, it has been an experience that has to some degree ruined me.
Yeah.
But it is so.
You can never sit on Lyndhurst. You can never sit on Lyndhurst for 2 hours ever again.
Yeah.
No.
This is just exactly. But this is. This is bucket list stuff, is what I said, and I still believe that. And if I know so many people have told you this today, this week, this month, but this has truly been an amazing, phenomenal, unrepeatable experience for me, and I'm so grateful, so blessed that you all allowed me to be a part of it. So
let's do it again next year then.
Well, since we have a 2-year contract, it's a repeatable experience.
Well, it was for Juan Pablo Montoya today. Let's not 15 years apart on the 2 years.
Yes.
So we will. This is kind of part one of race day. We will do another one here in just a bit. The Deadliest Catch lads will join us in just a bit. Jonathan Byrd II, David Byrd, across from me, Mama Jenny Byrd. I'm Rob Reel from Corn Country 100.3. This has been Bird Brains, and we are very, very sorry.
Oh, Mama, don't forget to pray for me.